Hello, good morning, Che.
Good morning, Jothura.
So I have a few questions that I like to ask from you for the younger generation to share them for light advice. So, how old are you, Che?
I am 41 years old.
What does it feel like to be 41 years?
Well, I can only compare from my own experience. So, compared to being younger, I think my body feels like it has less energy, but I'm more confident in some ways. I'm more secure about who I am and what my purposes in life are.
So, like for the young people like us who are in their 20s, when we are still young, what should we focus and accomplish like for personal improvement?
Yeah, I think when you're young, it's very important to find what is going to guide you through life. I think a lot of the time we pay too much attention to different people's opinions. And these days, especially, people say, find what feels good to you, do what you want to do, whatever is right for you. And having lived for all of these years now, I think what you want is going to change, and what you feel like is right and what society tells you is good for you to do is going to change. So you need to find unchanging truth. You need to know what is good and right for the entire course of your life. And it can't just be your opinion. It needs to be truth that comes from outside of yourself, because your desires and your goals will change. So you need that guiding star like sailors use. If they are guided by the clouds or by shapes and reflections on the sea, their path will veer. But when you're young, you need to find out what is going to guide you for the rest of your life.
May I know what's something that's guides you, for the rest of your life, or
Yeah. I follow the Word of God because God, the Creator God, has given us His instructions in the Holy Bible, His book. So, because He's the one who made the world and designed it and knows how all of it works, and because He's not influenced by time and by changing perceptions like humans are, His guidance and His advice and His instructions for our life are completely timeless and unchanging. So He knows what is good and true and right for people. So that's what I use as my focus for the whole course of my life.
thank you, Che. And my next question is, what is something you put a lot of importance on when you were younger, and when you're growing up, you realize, that wasn't actually that important.
Well, parents might not like me for this, but when I was a student, I thought being academically excellent was very important. I thought getting really good scores on tests was so important, because I was a good student and it made me feel good. It made me feel like that was proof that I was very smart. And that was part of my identity, was I knew so much more than the people around me. But the truth is that once you leave school, you don't wear a medal around your neck all of your life with your test scores on it. It doesn't make people think better of you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it's really not a good measure of who you are as a person. It doesn't have anything to do with your value as a person.
Yeah.
So I want my own children to study hard and learn well in school for their sakes. But I thought that getting the 100 on the test mattered the most, because it would make people like and respect me. And that's just not true. It's not that valuable.
Yeah. So when you're growing up, it was not a big deal, right? Like having the highest score in your exam, or like, it's not really matter for you anymore. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all of these years later. Nobody asks you that when they meet you.
Yeah.
They decide what they think about you based on, whether you're kind and you respect them or you work hard at the things that you need to do in life. So the test scores are not a big deal.
yeah. So you've been living for like 41, I guess, right? 41 years. Do you think life is short? Like growing up.
Well, compared to the span of human history, one person's life is pretty short.
Yeah.
But I think days and years can feel very long. There's a lot of time to reflect on mistakes that I've made or things that I still want to do. But at this point in life, I'm pretty content with the amount of time that I've had. I'm very grateful for how much time I've had so far.
Yeah. And what would you like to say to young people with their personal finance, and how should we prepare for to have financial security when we are still young?
Yeah, I think even if you don't have a lot of money right now or you don't have a lot of resources, you can prepare by practicing good habits. The habit of delayed gratification. So, not always just seeing what you want and enjoying it right now, but planning ahead, planning to save your money, and even refusing to spend a little bit of money on something because it looks cute right now or because your friends are all going out to eat right now, but instead practicing self-discipline to know that you will achieve something more worthwhile in the future. Those are habits that will help you all through life.
So invest now or like enjoy later, things like that.
Yeah, like that. Always be keeping track probably of your spending, to be aware of the decisions that you're making and try to invest your money for the future. Instead of right now. I would say always living within your means. So never spending money that you don't actually have right now, not borrowing money or counting on your paycheck to come next week to cover the amount that you've spent now, but living below the amount of money that you have and setting some aside, saving it.
Yeah, thank you. Do you think young people had like health problem or health issue? Because a lot of people are upset with social media, so they might probably feel like they're behind others because they're overwhelmed by social media because other people are promoting like their best version in their life.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this, and I do worry about younger people, especially. I think social media helps you compare all of the time to everyone else, and it gives you the impression that you're not as good, that you are not keeping up with everybody around you, that you should always be wanting more. And I think that's terrible advice for life. And like you said, for mental health, I think it causes a lot of depression and anxiety. So I think reducing the amount of time you spend on social media can help that. But I think also you just need to have the security that I talked about earlier of knowing what is good and true and basing your identity and your self-worth on that instead of on all of the voices around you telling you that you're not beautiful enough, that you didn't spend enough money on your clothes, that you should be aiming for more and more. Yeah, I worry that young people don't have enough hope for the future. I think these mental health problems are causing people to despair and fall into depression. And so you really need to have something that you can hold on to that will give you hope.
So what's the best way to handle like all this social media obsession in?
Well, you could just shut it off. You can make a choice not to watch that, right? Or to limit the amount of time that you spend on it.
Yeah.
But I think you should also replace it with other activities that are more worthwhile for you. Spending more time in the physical world with things that you see concrete results of. I like to grow plants. So that gives me a chance to relax, to be outside, and to focus on something that is not based on anybody else's opinion, but
Yeah.
when I get fruit from my plants or when I see the flowers from them, that gives me a sense of fulfillment, in something that I've accomplished that is worthwhile and that is not based on anything that anybody else says to me, isn't based on their opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And that's gonna be one last advice. One last question.
Yeah.
So if you could go back to your like younger self, like my age, what advice would you like to give to your younger self?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I worried a lot more about what people thought about me, their opinions of me. And I realize now that most people were not thinking about me at all.
Yeah.
So the things that I was worried about were completely untrue. So, yeah, to spend less time being concerned about my appearance in front of other people,
Yeah.
and more time thinking about how to treat them kindly and with respect,
Yeah.
instead of worrying about myself all the time. I think with that too, I would say that I should have tried more new things or reached out to people around me more.
Yeah.
For example, when I was in school, for a long time I had a health problem and I couldn't play any sports or do any athletics. But finally, when I recovered from that, I had a sports coach who came to me and asked me to join the running team in school.
Yeah.
And I said no. I didn't dare try something that was new because I was afraid that I would fail at it because I
Yeah.
had no experience at that. I had no practice at that.
Yeah.
And I thought the thing that I'm good at is academics. I'm smart. I do well on tests.
Yeah.
What would people think of me if I tried to be athletic and I was terrible at it? They would
Yeah.
laugh at me, right?
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really regret that now. I think I should have just tried it and it would have been good for me and
Yeah.
I might have had more new and different friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't willing to risk it because of my idea about who I was and what people thought about me.
Yeah, I think so. The last time I did interview, and like my like say teacher also recommended me to take risks, like try different things, new things. So we can have more experience when we are young. So probably when we're growing up, like we can think more like thoughtfully. So probably we can make the bad decision based on our experience. Probably it was wrong or like it was not a good experience, but so growing up we can like make the bad decision for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it sounds like old people are in agreement with our advice to the young.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you share your advice that you've been learning through all along the journey that you've been experiencing the life. So thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome through a jaw. Yeah,
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Shay.